Hi, my name is Logan. I live in South Pasadena. I'm 21 and identify as non-binary transmasculine. So my family is from a small island in the Indian Ocean called Mauritius, and I'm Chinese Mauritian American. I work as a recreation leader here in South Pas at an after-school care and summer day camp, and I also make my own patches, and I sew, go on Tumblr most of the time actually. I've always been kind of tomboyish, never really into dresses or skirts, and when I guess I got to high school, I started learning more about the LGBTQ community, obviously through the internet, and just finding all of these new terms and identities. And the more that I explored that, and the more that I explored myself and how I actually wanted to dress, it kind of just became more and more clear. And for a long time, I identified as lesbian and as female, but I guess the more that I learned about the trans community and just terms in general, I realized that I'm not cis, and I connected more with the term transmasculine and also the term non-binary. I did come out to my parents some years ago, and actually came out to them again last year, but it's just been a constant state of denial and pretending like it never happened. So I guess in their eyes, I'm still their precious little child girl, and apparently I still want to date boys, which I not really know. I grew up in South Pas, but my family mostly frequented Alhambra and Arcadia because it had all the Chinese markets. And for the most part, it was pretty alright. You know, when I didn't know that I was of the queer persuasion. And I guess around the time when I started to figure out that I wasn't quite like the rest of my peers, I started feeling a little bit more uncomfortable with the community. But for the most part, South Pasadena has always been pretty liberal and pretty open about most things. So I never really felt a part of the SGV area because I live in such a white town, and so I've never actually dated people from like Arcadia or Tumble City or Alhambra just because I'm kind of out of the way. I'm not really that surprised. Like when I didn't even know about it. I guess because it was such a small thing, but yeah, I'm not that surprised because the majority of the time, most older generation, you know, Chinese are pretty, I wouldn't say homophobic necessarily, but just a little bit backwards and unwilling to catch up with the thinking nowadays, and they're just not as flexible and very set in their ways. I just feel like the community is going to get better and will get better just because this generation is slowly taking over, and the older generation is dying out. So yeah. I do want to open up my own used bookstore in the future, and I definitely want it to be very LGBTQIA, all the other letters oriented and very involved in the community. And just like, I want it to be a place where people go to feel safe and to feel welcomed.